So hello gamers, people are always looking for the best starter gun or low rank gun in their category of choice. So today I thought I would go through the best low rank gun in every single category, and I'll try to go over guns ranked 20 or below. Our first gun is rank 16, the Scar L, and this is great for low ranks because it's a 4-tap at any range, pretty much anywhere on the body, and can 3-shot with 1 headshot. With 9mm it fires a lot faster, has still extremely low recoil, and has the ability to 3-tap to the body to about 50 or 60 studs, which is very good. It's also rank 16, and you can probably get this in about 2 days if you're pretty good. And by the time you're rank 16, you probably have enough money for 9x19 if you want it. However, the default gun is still very, very good, and the 4-tap anywhere, any range, and the high velocity makes it very good if you're not really too great or you're just starting out. You want a gun that's pretty easy to get a lot of kills with, because the 4-tap assault rifles are pretty much dead except for this one. I think this is the only 5.56 in the entire game at the moment that can 4-shot anywhere, any range. We used to have guns like the G36, L85A2, and M231 even could do it, but now it's only the Scar L. That's the only one that can do it. So if you want a very easy gun to use with low recoil, high velocity, and everything like that, check out the Scar L. So next up we have battle rifle, and it's pretty simple. It's the M14. The main reason for this is obviously because there's only really one gun under rank 20 that's a battle rifle, and the ECR is not really a great starter gun because it's only got 10 rounds, it shoots very fast, and it dumps mags very fast. And while I'm not a huge fan of the M14, it's a very good low rank gun because it eviscerates people. It shoots extremely fast, does really high damage, and it has 20 rounds and honestly pretty low recoil. I don't find the recoil to be that big of a problem at all. It's very loud, but I do think it's a pretty good gun. Next up we have carbine, and for me it will actually be going to the G36K. The G36K has been very, very good for a long time. It has received multiple nerfs, but it's still extremely good. And when I was a low rank, I wasn't using the M4A1. I was using the G36K because it has a much higher velocity, it has a long barrel, a better 3-hit kill range, about the same RPM, and yeah, it does 19 min, but it has better ranges, so it doesn't really matter that it's a 6-shot at range because it hits its shots, man. It doesn't even need a full setup because the iron sights are very good, and the default recoil is not great, but it's pretty good. And yeah, it's one of my highest kill guns on my alt account, like maybe second most, because it's got like 300-400. It's very, very good. Don't underestimate this gun after it's been nerfed because it needed a nerf. It was so good. It was basically just a different version of the 300 conversion on the HK416 that was super busted. Easy 3-tap, 750 RPM. Even if you're high rank, I recommend you check this out because it's not too bad even for high rank. Shotgun is pretty interesting because you got 2 options really, the Remington 870 and the KSG, and I'd say they're probably tied in terms of how easy they are to use, but I'd say the Remington is better because in my opinion it's just a better gun. The KSG does fire faster and has a bigger magazine, or bigger tube I guess. However, the 1-taps aren't as consistent, and as a low rank you probably want consistent 1-taps while having still some spammability, and this, it shoots pretty fast, but it 1-taps a lot farther than the other shotgun, the KSG. The KSG is kind of mid in terms of 1-tap range, probably gonna 1-tap to like 40, 50 studs maybe. This can honestly consistently 1-tap to like 80 studs. It's insane. That would have 1-tapped if the guy actually took damage. It only requires 3 of its 8 pellets to kill, and the spread is really, really good as well. And the min damage even after the shotgun nerf is not too bad either, which makes chipping people's health away at range not quite as much of a hassle as other shotguns. And the spread definitely helps to actually do a little bit of damage at range, and maybe increase the range of like the 2-taps a little bit more than usual, because 2-taps and stuff for longer ranges aren't really quite as easy as they were before, because essentially before the shotguns all used to do about 19 to 17 min damage per pellet, so they could 1-tap if every pellet hit, which wouldn't happen. However, you could chip people's health away in like 5-6 shots. Now you can't really do that as well with certain guns, because if you just hit 1 pellet, you know, maybe 2, you could take like 4 shots and kill a guy, which sounds pretty bad for a shotgun, but it's a shotgun. It shouldn't kill from that range anyway. So now it takes a little bit more. However, the Remington does that better than other ones because it still does, I think, 14. It actually does 13 from range, which is better than 12, better than 11. Now for starter LMG, it's pretty simple. It's not the M60, it's the Colt LMG. The Colt LMG is extremely strong. It has 20 tacks for a bunch of nice stuff. It also has 223 if you don't like recoil. It's essentially a big assault rifle. It has 60 rounds by default with a very fast reload. I use the 30-round magazine because I like the increased headshot performance, allowing it to 2-tap to the head, better velocity, better pen. This gun is an absolute monster. When it came out, it was probably the best like new conversion when the 20 tacks came out, because it does that. But if you want to use no ammo and have 60 bullets with about the same damage, that's really, really good too. I like the reload time and everything in this one. It feels very powerful, because it is. It's very, very powerful. It's also pretty accurate, and the high velocity allows it to kill from pretty far. Probably better than like Scar L and any other really assault rifle, because it's just a big assault rifle. And yeah, if you haven't tried it out, it's literally a starter gun, so I do recommend that you check it out, because it is the first starter gun that's been on this video. That kind of lets you know that it's very, very good. All the other guns have not been ranked 0, but if you really want to start out, this is the best gun to probably start with, to be honest. Next up, we have PDW. It's actually going to go to the UMP45. The MP7 and the MP5K are both very, very good. MP7 not quite so much anymore, and the MP5K requires a conversion, but if you really want to start out and be good, especially if you're just not that great, the UMP45 is actually insane. I had a friend who had MP5K/10. If you didn't know, that's an extremely powerful conversion that makes the MP5K essentially just an absolute monster. It has a lot of recoil though, and this gun just doesn't have recoil. And my friend actually was doing way better with this than he was doing with the MP5K10, because this has very consistent hits to kill, very low recoil, and very good damage. It's very good. In fact, the default gun does 38 damage. So 2 tap to the head and 3 tap to the body. And it can 5-shot anywhere on the body at any range, which most PDWs can't even do that. Like most PDWs, the velocity is not that great, but 45 Super vastly improves that. However, it doesn't make the damage at range as good. I don't really recommend you pre-buy 45 Super. It's fine on this one. Pretty good, but not as great as the Vector in my opinion. But yeah, it's a 2-tap as you can see when you're hitting only headshots, but you can hit only headshots because it's so accurate. In fact, with 45 Super, this thing is actually doing 55.3 headshot damage. That's actually really good. Next up, we have Sniper Rifle, and this is pretty simple. I'm actually going to go to the Intervention. The reason for this is the Intervention has less drop and a crazy torso kill of 150 studs. So even though it doesn't shoot as fast as the Remington, in my opinion, it has a vastly improved scope. I like the reticle of it way more, and it one-shots more, so you're not going to hit marker very often, which is a very big problem if you're a low rank only hitting body shots, because you don't really want to go for headshots. It's boring. It's not fun. Go for body shots. 1-tap to the body. Doesn't matter, because this gun can 1-tap to the body. It also is very good for hitting headshots because the velocity is insane. It has the highest default velocity of any gun in the entire game. Higher than a 50 cal, higher than the NTW, higher than any assault rifle, anything like that, any DMR. It's the highest velocity. It's 3,600 studs per second, more than double the speed of the UMP45. And you can hit some shots with the UMP45. You know, it doesn't have awful drop. This has over double that, so it's very, very good. For pistols, it's pretty simple. It's actually going to go to not the Deagle, not the M9, not the Glock 17, the M1911. The only pistol I really ever get killed by when it's a low rank is the 1911, and the reason for this is because it can kill with 1 torso and 1 limb shot, or 2 torso shots, so basically 2 taps to the body, which is very good. It has some recoil and not the biggest magazine compared to other pistols, but if you're in closer range, you're spamming, you want less hits to kill. You don't want to hit a 3rd shot. And the Glock 17, even though it can 2-shot headshot, it's not really like that underpowered or anything. It doesn't feel very powerful, probably because it's semi-auto. This feels pretty powerful, not gonna lie. It sounds better than the Glock in my opinion. It does way more damage. It does 48 instead of 34, so it does like a full 20 more damage, which is quite a bit more. And on my ult account, it's my main secondary, because why would I bother hitting 2 shots with a Deagle when I can hit 2 shots with this and go... You know, like I can shoot way faster. I'm not saying the Deagle is objectively worse. It's maybe better if you're better at the game, but for me, no, this is better because the Deagle is my secondary. I want to be able to pull out a gun and just spam it. This is way better for spamming. You can just spam people down. Deagle is always a 2-shot, and this can be a 3-shot. I just prefer the higher RPM of 720. That is 320 more RPM. So basically double the fire rate, which is kind of insane. Machine pistols only has 1 option, and even if the 93R was actually a lower rank gun, the Glock would still be the #1. The reason for this is pretty simple. The Glock 18 is just a jack of all trades machine pistol. It doesn't shoot super fast, it doesn't do a ton of damage, it doesn't have the best recoil, but you know what it does have over all of the other machine pistols? It does everything pretty good. Like, it shoots pretty fast, it has a very large magazine actually, but not the biggest. And it has pretty good recoil. The damage has gotten a lot worse, and so has the recoil. It used to be able to 5-shot anywhere, any range, which I don't know why Stylus allowed that, because a 5-shot on a pistol that shoots 1,100 rounds per minute is kind of baffling to me, but still, it's going to be a 6-tap now, and it's going to have worse recoil, but the recoil is still really good, and it can have 33 rounds, and it has 20 by default, which is not bad at all. If you just want a full auto pistol, I recommend this. Like, you can main this. It's very, very good. For revolvers, you really only have the Rex, and that's pretty good because the Rex is so good anyway. It's ranked like 4, and it will be getting a bit of a recoil nerf pretty soon, but the recoil on it is a little bit too good, I would say. If you spam it, it's still that accurate. Like, it doesn't really matter if you spam it or not, and the headshot kill range is very good as well. It can two-shot anywhere, and if you want a deagle that can shoot faster but can still one-tap to the head, this is really good. It's two-tap anywhere in the body, one shot to the head. This might be a little bit better than the 1911, but 1911 still has lower recoil and is a bit more spammable, but they're about the same spammability, so the real difference is the magazine capacity and the reload time of the two. This has a slower reload time, a smaller magazine, but I'm gonna be real, if you want an all-around just really good secondary, this is a little bit better than the 1911 in my opinion, but you could use either. The 1911 and the Rex are the two secondaries I recommend the most as a low rank, you know. The Glock maybe if you're not that great, but if you want a consistent two-tap or one-tap, 1911 and the MP412 Rex have got you. Last up we have others, and there isn't really a low rank one. The lowest rank one is rank 36, and it's the Super Shorty. The second lowest one is rank 75, so I guess I have to recommend this one, but I'm gonna be real, don't bother with this gun. It's fine now. It shoots faster than it used to, and it reloads faster, but it just doesn't do any damage anymore. It does 24, which means it takes 5 out of 8 pellets to kill, which is not great. And honestly, the Psycho 12U is just this but better. And that's a super high rank, so don't really worry about this. Use a machine pistol if you have to. The Glock will do you much better than this, but it's not bad. It's just not a low rank gun, and it's not really the best secondary shotgun anyway. The Psycho 12U just does it better. It can have about the same magazine capacity, actually exactly the same. However, it has 350 RPM and does more damage, so actually you can go like that. Regardless, if you're going to use any starter gun, I do recommend that you run the Colt LMG. It's so good. But yeah, gamers, if you guys did enjoy, that is the best low rank or starter gun in every category. Make sure to like and subscribe and let me know in the comments which one is your favorite. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Bonk, bonk, bonk. Peace.